I swear to God, with each of these articles I read, I lose one precious brain cell. I'm back with another video, and this one is once again covering stupidity in the gaming industry. Now, what's the way to phrase this? The legitimate way, or not legitimate, what do you call this? To be honest, I should just say, the person who wrote this article is not a member of the gaming industry, so of course they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But this comes from, and by the way, I apologize for this pixely picture, but I don't know why it's like that. It's just the way it is, but whatever. The story is from a guy who posted this on Yahoo's news thing, did an article, saying that Pokemon is killing Nintendo. Really? Really? Now, you might not fully understand his article because I haven't gotten into it yet, but don't worry, we will break this down bit by bit. First of all, he's complaining that because Nintendo's making money from Pokemon, they're killing themselves. That's right, Nintendo makes money, which means they gotta be killing themselves, right? Let's get into this. The end of November period brought just about the worst possible news for Nintendo. The latest Pokemon game sold a dazzling 1.5 million units in Japan during launch week, which, you know, that's pretty good because Pokemon always sells like amazingly, and Pokemon is the king of the handheld market. There's a reason why Nintendo has always been the king of handhelds. It's because of Pokemon. That's why Sony has never beaten them in handhelds. Pokemon is the fucking handheld industry. Anyway, let's get into the news here. It's a massive number in a market where few titles managed to crack the 100,000 unit barrier during their debuts. Except for, look at all the popular Nintendo 3DS games. The hot Pokemon rollout helped once again revive the aging 3DS portable console sales. Now, I'm guessing he's saying that the sales were aging, meaning they're slowing down because there was a bit of a drought there between Kirby and Fantasy Life. There was a bit of a drought, but that's fine. It's like the 3DS ran, because it was top-selling console the past 2 years. It's like the 3DS ran a 2-year marathon, then took a day off to recover. And people on that one day while the 3DS is kind of recovering, people are like, oh, there's no games. Or the sales are going down. Blah. But anyway, let's get back on track. Boosting the weekly unit sales number to 83,000. This is more than 7 times higher than weekly sales of Sony's flagship PS4 console in Japan. Of course, because as I've said before, and as a whole bunch of other people with brains have said before, in Japan, they love their handheld gaming. They're all about handheld gaming in Japan. They don't care as much about home consoles. Anyway, this toxic triumph was precisely what Nintendo did not need. The company requires shock therapy to force its high-bound executives to abandon their preposterous opposition to launching Nintendo's beloved franchises on iPad. That's right. These guys, the guy who wrote this, wants Nintendo to put their games on iPads and smartphones. Oh, man, I can't even, like, it takes me a few seconds just for my brain to even comprehend that someone could literally be so delusional to actually believe such a thing. Nintendo has said themselves, meaning Iwata, that Nintendo will take their games to their grave with them. They will take their games down with them if they're going down. They will never, and I repeat, ever be on stupid iPads or smartphones. Whether you want to believe it or not, I'm here to tell you straight, well, it's not really straight to your face, but point blank, bluntly, smartphones and iPad gaming is not the fucking future of gaming. I don't care who the fuck you are or what, what's the word? What professional requirements you have and all these things that say, oh, you know what you're talking about. I don't care what the fuck you say. If you honestly think iPads and smartphones are the future of gaming, you're a dumbass. Then get the fuck out. Because if that were true, if that was the future of gaming, that would be the end of gaming. Gaming would be dead. Just plain and simple. And before I actually continue on, that kind of ties in with one little thing I just remembered here. I saw a commercial for some Candy Crush app. It was like Candy Crush Soda Pop Edition or something like that. I don't know. Now, the thing that baffles me, you know, people want to make money, of course. and it costs a crap ton of money to make a commercial. Yet, even in the commercial, they say, download it now for free. Candy Crush is a free game. Yet you're pouring in money to make commercials for people to download something for free. So you're spending money to advertise something that's free, but then since it's free, you're not making any money back. Do you realize that you're just losing money? Like, that's why Nintendo is around. That's why Nintendo's Nintendo. That's why they've been around 125 fucking years. They aren't stupid. Well, I mean, they've been made a lot of stupid decisions, but that's with their, the way they treat their fans and whatnot. But when it comes to survival and money management, Nintendo knows what the fuck they're doing. Anyway, let's kind of steer this ship back on course. They were saying, instead, the ancient Nintendo properties from its 80s and 90s, fuck, I hate pronouncing this word, Halcyon, whatever, days, keep performing well enough to enable the company to keep its head in the sand. So basically, they think Nintendo's games keep selling well enough to so that Nintendo doesn't have to change their ways and go to iPads. You're right there saying you want Nintendo to sell bad, so they're driven to going to iPads. You're one of these morons who doesn't understand the concept of, if you want to play a Nintendo game, you play it on a Nintendo console. You spend, a few $100s every fucking year upgrading your damn smartphone, yet you don't want to drop $300 for a console that will last you 7 years or so on, playing all these games that you want to fucking play. Not to mention the fact that The Legend of Zelda, for example, if that was a 99-cent game on iPad, do you realize that wouldn't be Zelda anymore? That'd be a butchered little top-down adventure. I don't even know what the fuck. That would be a horrendous rendition. I can't say that word. Bleh, a horrendous version of Zelda, I'll just say. But, anyway, Nintendo is not crashing fast enough. And right there, you are saying you want Nintendo to crash because you greedy fucking bitch who wants to spend 99 cents on Mario games wants it on your iPad or iPhone. You don't understand that you're spending, $200 to $300 on a phone every fucking year when you would spend $300 once for 7 years of gaming. I swear to God, some of these human beings need to just be put down. They are not doing the world any favors. They are just moronic apes. Anyway, he says here, the core device franchise, the 3DS, has now sold nearly 2.4 million units in Japan so far this year, which is substantially below the 4 million units it sold in the same period last year. No shit, have you seen all the games last year for the 3DS? That was a really strong year for the 3DS. Do you honestly think that every fucking year a console's gonna sell more and more and more and more and more and beat its record year after year? No. And like I said, the 3DS did have a few months drought, but now it's picking itself back up. It's recovered from its 2-year winning streak marathon, and now it's back on the road once again. Granted, there's gonna be that whole thing about the the new 3DS. We'll see how that does, but that's another story for another day, even though I've talked about that in the past. Where is he? Or what was I talking about here? But the erosion is simply too slow to force the company to change its mind about getting into the mobile app market. Again, Nintendo has said this before. They have no interest in that market. They are not fucking blind to the truth. They can see through that. They can see that that's not going to last. It has the casual gamer's attention right now. But the thing about casual gamers is they never stick to one thing for very long. They loved the Wii last gen. No doubt about that. Now they're all about iPads and smartphones. What's next? Who knows? Amazon's Fire TV? Who knows? Who fucking knows? The strong Pokemon sales numbers from its home market just gave the reactionary wing of Nintendo's management a new argument to stay the course and keep hanging onto its slowly sinking game console platforms. Slowly sinking game console platforms. I think you meant to say Sony. Sony's the sinking ship here. Because apparently It's only Nintendo that's able to fail. Sony, oh, they're fine. They don't, or they know what they're talking about. Blah blah blah. How come you don't make a story or an article about The Last of Us coming to iPad? Huh? Huh? Oh right, because that wouldn't make much sense, now would it? Exactly, you fucking dumbasses. You don't see Halo on iPads. You don't see people writing about that, do you? No, no. People and their idioticness towards Nintendo, it will never cease to amaze me. But, I mean, yes, the Wii U sales were sinking, but now they're making a profit, of course. And then, I mean, as for the 3DS, it started off rocky at its launch for the first 4 or 5 months or so, and then it just, pew, took off like a fucking, bat out of hell, as the saying goes. While Nintendo's console sales slide, the mobile game market is about to hit $22 billion in 2014, and is poised to balloon to $30 billion in 2016. Where do I even start? You realize, like I said, every fucking year, people buy a new phone. That's why it's selling so much. That's why there's such a profit in fucking phones. My cell phone is still a few years old. I don't upgrade every fucking year, because that's fucking stupid. You know what a cell phone's for? Making fucking calls, or texting. You know, what's next? We're gonna have a toaster with Blu-ray in it or something. Or Wi-Fi, I should say. Well, actually, maybe that would work. Maybe a toaster with a Blu-ray player built in so you can watch a movie for 3 seconds while your damn bread's toasting. There's more casuals in this world for gaming, in the gaming industry, than there are for core fans. That's a fact. Because you're cashing in on casuals, you want Nintendo to sacrifice the core gamers and leave them high and dry. Because do you honestly think that if Nintendo put their games on iPads and smartphones, that Nintendo's fans would jump on it and actually go out and buy an iPad and buy these 99-cent versions of their games? No. They're going to turn their back and be like, well, peace out. The day Nintendo puts their stuff on smartphones and whatnot, the day I stop buying Nintendo products. That's what everyone's fucking saying. But people like you don't understand that because you're missing a few screws in your head. You've got a few screws loose. Anyway, so many of the most famous and lucrative game franchises are sitting out the tablet and smartphone game explosion completely. Exactly. You know the thing about an explosion is, right? Big at first, and then what happens? The explosion finishes and fades away. Nintendo is boom, 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 boom. Every generation, they make a boom. They're an explosion. They don't fade away. That's why they've been around 125 years. You know how long your iPad's been around? Not 125 years. Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Castlevania, Pokemon. To be honest, Pokemon's made by Game Freak. And isn't Castlevania Konami? Although with Pokemon, though, even though it's Game Freak, Nintendo owns them, so yeah, it is still Nintendo. But Game Freak themselves don't even want to put Pokemon, the main Pokemon franchises, on home consoles. And yet you think they're going to put it on iPads. I'm one of those people who just don't fucking understand the appeal of iPads. I don't even like Apple. I have an iPod. That's as far as I go with Apple products. I don't have an iPhone. I don't care for an iPhone. I don't like it. I don't care for Apple. They're expensive for stuff that really shouldn't be expensive. It's mediocre technology. Like, it's top quality, but they way overprice just because they're Apple. And I've never understood the, what's the word? The attractiveness to playing on a smartphone or on a, what's the word I'm looking for? iPad. The only thing I've ever played on my smartphone was once when I got my phone, I tried Angry Birds. Got bored of that after 15 minutes or so, which was free. And I think I had Plants vs. Zombies 2, which I actually kind of enjoyed, even though it being EA. But then, last August, it randomly stopped fucking working. So, I don't know. Oh, and another point I want to make is these guys say that, Nintendo's missing out on money because it's not on iPads. That was my little what do you call it, corporate suit talk there, or accent. But they're like, oh, please put it on iPads and you will make so much more money. Let me ask you this. Say Nintendo puts The Legend of Zelda, Mario, Pokemon, Metroid, F-Zero, Star Fox on iPads and charges 99 cents each one. You really think that that's going to be the same experience? Nintendo puts way more work into their games than most developers in the industry. And you think they're going to be fine? That they're going to survive? The developers themselves will get by in life and survive when their game sells for $1? No. Even Nintendo's eShop games, that are eShop exclusives, sell for more than 99 cents and have more quality in it. The things that you call games on iPads for 99 cents, newsflash, those aren't fucking games. Those are time wasters for like 5-10 minutes while you're waiting for a bus or a flight at an airport. So, iPad and smartphone people, you don't belong in the gaming industry. Get the fuck out before we forcibly kick your candied ass out. Anyway, let's get back on track here. Animal Crossing would be perfect fit for the iPad. Pfft, more like Wii U. And the monetization potential of its item collecting system boggles the mind. Dr. Mario and other puzzle gems Nintendo has created could challenge the billion-dollar Candy Crush saga so easily. F-Zero and Mario Kart are precisely the kind of rally games that fit the tablet format. You realize what they're talking about here, right? They're talking about microtransactions. They're saying Nintendo would make a bundle off of microtransactions, put Animal Crossing in, on iPad, and so it's just like, if you want to buy a couch for your house in Animal Crossing, what's his name, Tom Nook or whatever, the guy who you pay the bells item to, your bells are your, fuck, I can't talk. The bells are your currency in Animal Crossing, so instead of paying bells, the character Tom Nook or whatever would ask you, is that credit card or Visa or whatever, or American Express, so you would have to pay actual real-life money for in-game items. You want Nintendo to do that? That's not Nintendo. They aren't fucking stupid like that when it comes to microtransactions. You're just a greedy son of a bitch, whoever wrote this article. That's what you are. You want to have the Nintendo experience, but you don't want to pay for it. And there's a saying, that's how the rich stay rich, is because they don't pay money. They're rich and they make a lot of money, but they never actually spend it. And that's the saying of how rich people stay rich. So that's why the phone market or whatever is so rich. So many people, have phones and everything and pay you little bits here and there, which adds up. And then you never actually put out any actual quality products. And then to to say that Mario Kart and F-Zero are rally games that fit the tablet? What? What? Get the fuck out, you're drunk. Get out of here. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. What could possibly be more delicious than Advance Wars for iPad? Who fucking cares about Advance Wars? I never even heard of the damn thing. An insanely addictive turn-based strategy game that begs for a connected touchscreen-based device with a micro-payment system. There's your microtransactions. Who in their right mind likes microtransactions? Raise your hand if you're one of my fans. I'm talking to you guys. If you like microtransactions, raise your hand. And if you raise your hand, I hope you feel real bad about yourself. Because you're a dumbass. No offense. Well, no, you know what? Offense. Major offense. I hope all my fans are smart enough to know microtransactions are not a good thing. Where am I here? I lost my spot again. Who amongst us would not pay $1.99 for new Advanced Wars campaigns every damn month? No. Actually, it wasn't Advanced Wars actually like a DS game or something? It was a Nintendo game. I've never played it. But paying $2 a month for new campaigns. No, that's giving more fuel to the fire of you wanting to buy a game that's not finished. In the past, you bought a game that was finished, that worked. And you bought it, you enjoyed it, you sat on your ass and you played it, and you had a fun time. So many people are trying to forcibly turn. Remember, Nintendo saved the gaming industry with the NES. And they made it do a 180-degree turn after the video game crash. These people are trying to forcibly turn it back around 180 degrees and send it back towards the video game crashing off the fucking cliff. But Nintendo won't ever give in, no matter what you think, no matter how much if you like Nintendo, if you hate them. That's just written in stone. It's a fact. It's never going to change. Nintendo will do what Nintendo always does, and that is survive. Anyway, Nintendo is missing out on billions of dollars in totally new revenue with development costs that would be substantially below that of the Wii U of what the Wii U requires. Oh no shit, because a game on an iPad would require a budget of $100. And like I said, you really want Nintendo to put a game on an iPad. You realize that it would be such a pathetic rendition, that's the word I was trying to think of before, of what it's supposed to be. It wouldn't, like I said, it wouldn't be Zelda, it wouldn't be Pokemon. It'd be some crappy remake, or not remake, crappy interpretation. Even if it was made by Nintendo themselves. And again, Nintendo doesn't, I've said this before in videos, Nintendo doesn't fucking care about the money. You care about the money, you greedy corporate bitches. Nintendo cares about making fun games. You know what a game is? You don't, this is kind of a little off topic, but you don't go to a store like, say, Toys R Us. You don't buy a board game that's not complete, right? You don't buy Monopoly and then use real-life money as microtransactions to buy the rest of your pieces, right? So why would you think of that for a video game? When someone makes a product, it's supposed to be a fully done, finalized product. The whole idea of giving someone a little bit of something and then expecting them to pay a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more for the rest of it is ludicrous and pathetic and just the slimiest, filthiest, foxiest thing you can do. And it's bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Anyway, but with every passing quarter, Nintendo's brand power becomes a little less valuable and relevant to younger consumers. Let me explain something. The younger consumers, the kids, the casuals. What did I say in the past? Casuals are dumbasses. Kids these days are pathetic, stupid morons. And I also said, even in this video, casuals change what they are interested in all the fucking time. If you honestly think they will stick with smartphones and apps and iPads for the next 10 years or so, you're a fucking moron. Something else will come along. There was a time where the casuals were attracted to yo-yos and ball in a cup and paddleball and going to actual arcades. They change what they want to do all the fucking time. They are an unreliable source of income. What happens when they no longer care about iPads and iPhones? Huh? These greedy bitches that want everyone to be on board, they're all of a sudden going to not have any fans anymore. No user base. I mean, maybe the random grandmother or something will buy a 99-cent game once a year or something. But what's going to happen to you? You will go extinct. You will go the way of Atari. The way of Sega, even though Sega still was saved because of Nintendo. Oops, I hate when my screen goes black. My point is, and this has been a long-ass discussion rant, whatever I'm going to call it video. My point is, you are looking at the small picture. Nintendo always is looking at the big picture. It doesn't always pan out for Nintendo, that's for sure. Like the Wii U's first 2 years, basically. Well, maybe a year and a half. But the point is, Nintendo's always got the big picture in mind. You are narrow-minded, which I know a lot of people say I'm narrow-minded, which, yeah, I am. But I can shift between narrow-minded and open-minded. But my point is, you guys are focusing on the here and now. Nintendo is focusing on the here and now and the past and the future. That's why Nintendo survives. That's why Nintendo's so good. Anyway, let's get on with the rest of this here. Franchises like Castlevania and Metroid are already known to the new generation. Well, I'm guessing that would be because either they were lucky, these kids were lucky and had, say, either a father or an older brother who was around back in the day who played these games and showed them to their brothers and sisters, their younger brothers and sisters. And to those people, if you're someone, say, my age or roughly around my age, where you were around in the NES or Super Nintendo or even the N64 days, and if you've passed on gaming to younger brothers or sisters, Whether it's, I hate to say this, but even if it's, PlayStation 1 or N64 or even the original Xbox, then good for you. You're doing something good for the industry. You're not saying, oh, here, go play your stupid 99-cent iPad that's your babysitter. That's all parents do. They get their kids. Back in, man, I feel old saying this. Back in my day, when I was a kid, you would never get a kid an iPad. You would drop it and break it. You don't get a kid that expensive of a gift or present or whatever you want to call it. A console. Oh, kid got a console? Look up that N64 video on YouTube where the kid screams, "It's a Nintendo 64!" That is what kids should be like. Now a kid gets an iPad and he freaks out over Candy Crush, Angry Birds. I mean, how far can quality go down? How freaking low will humanity go in the gaming industry? I don't know if there is even a bottom of the barrel. I don't know if there is a dead end, but whatever. The sweet elixir of Pokemon 3DS profits are a slow venom dripping into Nintendo's veins, numbing the mind of the company that needs to embrace change right now. And that's that. Again, as I've said, Pokemon is the handheld market. And you yourself said at the very beginning here that, very few titles managed to crack the 100,000 unit barrier. No shit. How many things on your thing, on iPads or smartphones, your apps or whatever, reach, huge sales? Now you could argue, oh, Angry Birds Candy Crush downloaded billions of times. Of course. There's so many fucking casuals, and they're only paying 99 cents or free. And if it's free, you ain't making any money. The way you're making money is trying to be a sleazy little punk with their microtransactions and being a little punk-ass bitch. And underhanded tactics. I'm going to wrap up this video. This has been a long enough one. My point is, I'm so fucking tired and sick of these stupid dumbass humans. Do not listen to these people. I'm Original Blood Ice. As always, stay tuned. More videos coming soon. As always.